That's done, that's done. Hi, Brandy. Hello, Kimberly. Marriott Family Vlog. Hello. How you ladies doing today? Just giving this a few minutes to kick in. Hey, Dana. How are you? How's everybody doing today? Can you guys hear me well and see me well? Let's see. I'm a little lagged. Yep. Just gonna give everybody a few minutes to kick in to join us today. We're gonna be making some cards. And this is the first episode to my new series, Homemade Designs, where I hope to be creating all different kinds of card projects, paper crafting kind of projects. This is me kind of separating what I do on Saturday, which is more of a, it's creating, but it's creating in a kind of like a different way, as far as, like little boxes and canvases and just different kinds of things. This I want to dedicate mostly to, making cards and flip books and those kinds of paper crafts. So yeah, hopefully you guys will like what I'm pretty much doing today. I'm thinking that this is a good way for me to kind of go ahead and use up, some of the things that, that I've bought throughout the past couple months, things that I haven't, used as of lately, even things that I've gotten from before, that I haven't used up yet. And it's just a good way for me to start kind of creating inventory for, when I do like angel mail or when I even do happy mail, that I have cards that are made by me, as opposed to, kind of being store-bought, or little notes that I kind of send, and I don't want to keep doing that. So this is kind of like my way of kind of starting to stock up on some of those cards and just flip books and just things that I can go ahead and, include in angel mail and also happy mail whenever I have a partner and things like that, and just kind of, getting that whole thing rolling. Awesome. Awesome, awesome, awesome. So, let's see. I hauled from Miss Cooper Scoop, I think her name is, here on YouTube. I'm not sure, but I got these papers from her, and I pretty much figured, you know what, this is a very nice stack. This is a very nice paper pad, and I think it will make some really, really pretty cards. So I'm gonna go ahead and choose some paper from here. We're going to be also, doing some die cutting and things like that. Just pretty much assembling a card, and just kind of how I go about, kind of creating these types of things. I see my hands are frozen. I don't know if it's my computer, because my computer for some reason is doing that lately. It's I bought a used computer, so it just kind of randomly freezes every now and then. So I'm not sure if it's my computer. I think it is, because I do see myself kind of moving around in the video, so that the video looks fine. It'll kick in when it kicks in. I'm just gonna go ahead. I just want you guys to know that when my computer freezes, I can't see what you guys are typing, because my messages will also freeze, which really sucks. But I'm waiting on RAM right now to upgrade the RAM, because I think that the RAM has a lot to do with the reason why it's kind of glitching on me. But this is what happens when you buy used and you don't buy new. But just working out, you know, kind of ironing out some of the kinks. Let's see here. So this paper pad is called the Coral Couture Stack, and it's got glitter and foil. And it's very, very pretty. I don't know if you guys have seen it, but I'll give you a quick little flip through. I mean, the paper is just gorgeous. And I really need paper like this, because I don't really have paper like this. Most of the paper that I do have, it's kind of like all over the place, if you will. It doesn't have like really pretty floral designs like that, you know, the shabby chic kind. So I really thought that this would, you know, really be a nice addition to the papers that I have now. Got some plain ones, and this is just very, very pretty. Like, I'm thinking I'm gonna use something like this, because I really do like it. It's got the little memo area here on the side, and then it's also got this really pretty floral here that I can kind of go ahead and use, you know, as the inside covers, or even as an embellishment to the front of the card. And then we also have another version. There's also, where is it, if I see it? And it's nice and sturdy. I like this cardstock. It's even got some cut parts that I can use, but I'm not sure if I'm going to go into those yet. Where is that? Isn't this pretty? It's so pretty. I love it. I love this kind of stuff. Where is it? I think I passed it. Yes, this one right here. I really like this one because it's more solid. It's got more of a solid place, and then I can just kind of go ahead and place this in the inside of the card, and then you could just kind of write your little note there, or I could even kind of make this into somewhat of a pocket so that you could kind of slide your note inside. That way, if you don't want to write on this, you don't have to. But just different ideas that I'm playing with. So let's get this paper situation on the road, and I'll start showing you guys more or less between the things that I've hauled. I'm not sure which one I should go with. I'm really liking this one that says memories, and I also like this one that says my love. So I don't know, I'm trying to see if I can kind of I cannot use these two together, even though they're from the same paper collection. So I'm just gonna rip these both out and just see where we go, because I'm planning on making at least 2 cards today, so hopefully all will work well, and then I can see more or less how long it takes me and everything with doing the live. Yes, I've done a defrag. I have a utility on my computer. It's called IOBIT, and it's a really, really good utility. It does everything. It has like everything that you could possibly want, even to the point of when you uninstall a program, sometimes fragments of certain files will linger, you know, in their corresponding folders and also in other parts of your computer. And this program that I have, it's a free program, by the way. It cleans everything out. So when you uninstall something, it'll actually go back in and just make sure that it removes every little trace of it. I'm having a little bit of an issue here. So I've actually done that. I've defragged it and I've done all of that. What I'm not that, I don't do as often actually is I don't clean my computer as often, and I think maybe that could be it. And I didn't clean it before I went live, which I probably should have done. I have to get myself into the habit of just running the cleaner real quick before I actually decide to come on live. But we'll figure it out. Hello, Sandra. Welcome, welcome. So I'm going to put this to the side because most likely I am going to be getting some other papers out of there. And I put a few things to the side. I even got this, I got this off of Instagram, and I think I paid $3 for this. And it's like that textured, what they call basil, I think it's Bazzil. I'm not sure what the pronunciation of that word is, but it's something like that. But it's got all different kinds of pretty colors in it. So I know I'm going to need this at some point or the other. So let's see. I'm going to start off with this one. And the measurements for my card is going to be 5.5 by 11. So I just kind of have to figure out exactly where I want what. For right now, I'm just going to go into cutting these sections. And usually I'll use a cardstock, a black cardstock for the base. I'm not sure if I am going to be doing that today, or at least not on this one, because I use black cardstock on everything. Hi, Ruth. Thank you for joining. So for the most part, we're going to wing it like we normally do, because that's how I live life. By a wing and a prayer, right? So we're going to do that. And I got some dimensionals and stuff and just a whole bunch of different things. I kind of pulled out everything. And I got my little Rolodex with all my little envelopes with all the little different things inside. And I'm still organizing and sorting through. But for the most part, a lot of those things are there already sorted out. And I got some dies out just in case I want to, you know, go the extra mile. So let's see. I'm going to cut this. Let me see. Maybe the other one will go a little bit better. I think the other one will fit the 5.5 that I'm trying to do. So I'm going to go 5.5. If I cut that one at a 5.5, I'm going to cut into the little memo area, and I don't want to do that. So paper crafting is one of my passions, but as most of you know, I'm more into the painting and everything else. So I do like to go ahead and you know, create, like, you know, cards and flip books and all of that stuff. I love doing that as well. But this is more of a challenge for me, as with mixed media. It kind of flows very easily out of me, or at least a lot easier than this. So just bear with me, and hopefully we'll have fun. And hopefully you guys are seeing everything good to go. So I'm going to cut this into the 5.5. And chances are is that I'm going to need to make this just a tad bit smaller so that I can fit it inside of the card. And I'll just save this little spot for something else. And I'm going to go ahead and leave that the way that is. So let's see here, because we're going to need some kind of a card base. So let's see what this is. And this is probably too short, but we're going to make it work, even if this is a little shorter. So this is like a what do you do when you don't have everything that you need. You have most of the things that you need, but you don't have everything that you need. Because I know this is a lot shorter than what I needed. It would have been good if this would have been a 12 by 12, but where is my measuring tape? Here I go, already looking for things, you guys. Isn't this awesome? What did I do with it? I just measured something 2 seconds ago, literally. Here it is. So I think this is the 8.5 by 11. If I'm not mistaken, it might be a good size. I'm not sure. Let's see. So I think I made it by the hair of my chinny chin chin. So actually this is going to work perfect. I'm just going to cut this down to a 5.5 and then score it at 5.5, and then we should be good to go to start building up this first card. Just making sure that everything is in proper alignment. Because you know how these things are. For some reason, it doesn't really matter what the machine is, you always end up either overcutting or undercutting no matter how much you measure. which is kind of why I hate measuring. So I am going to put this right there and score at a 5.5. Where is my scoring? Where is my scoring tool? Why does this always happen to me? Every time. I'm always misplacing everything. Hi Deb, how are you? Ruth, you make awesome things. I see the crafts that you make. What you mean copy me? If anything, I should be copying you. Because you make awesome work. So pretty much with this scoring, I'm just gonna I'm leveling the cardstock at the 11-inch mark, and I'm gonna score it at 5.5, and hopefully that'll give me exactly what I need. Hopefully, hopefully. And of course it didn't, because that's just life, and life can never be simple. I'm not too worried about the creases. Life can never be simple. I thought by getting this one, I would make my life simpler, and I think I've complicated my existence a little bit. Let's see. This is way, way, way too big. So we're going to cut this down. Now we're going to do some trimming, and that's going to be the first part of the card. That's going to go on the inside, and then I'll work on the outside last, knowing that my inside is already done. Most people work on the inside and then work themselves out to the outside, but I want to make sure that I get this part correct, if you will. Why did I close that? And don't mind me, I'm just a little nervous. I'm a little nervous to be doing this. So let's see, what do we have here? 5.5. So let's cut it this way. So I'm just going to measure this at 5.5, and I'm going to lose some lines, but that's okay. I'm going to put it at 5 3/4. So I'm going to take that 1/4 inch right off the top. I'm going to get that 1/4 inch right off the top. And let me just make sure that everything is everything over here, and at 5.5. So I'm just measuring everything, making sure that it's 5.5 by whatever my dimensions here are, which is my card base should be 5.5 by 5.5. Hopefully, just double checking. It's a little bit more than 5.5, but it's fine. So 5.5 by 5.5, and that's fine. And 1/4 of an inch here. I'm just gonna take that very little top sliver right off. And this is just my learning journey, and I decided to take you guys along for the ride. So we have our little card, and this is supposed to go on the inside. And I am gonna trim a lot of this corner. I'm gonna with one of these scissors that I was gifted, I'm gonna go ahead and just kind of cut around this somewhat, so that I can kind of fit this in nice and snug. But before I do that, I'm gonna go and do some stamping on this card itself, on this card base, before I put this in there, because I just want to make sure that everything fits nicely. And I might actually be able to cut a little bit more of this off, and it'll be okay. So I'm gonna cut a little bit more of this off. This whole little space, I don't really need this space here, so that way I can actually center this more. That might actually be a little bit better, a little bit more pleasing to the eye, if you will. So I'm just gonna go ahead and cut that off. And the only measuring I'm doing is making sure I'm not cutting into the gold lettering. So I think that'll work a little bit better. That way I have some of that space there, and it's still a little long, so I'm gonna go into the second line here. And this is how I craft, you guys. One piece at a time. I don't know if you guys do the same, but If you're looking for professional here, you're not gonna find it. This is more like amateur hour at the Crafty Casino. You spin the roulette, but you never know what you're gonna get. Can you guys hear that racket? Hopefully not, but my laptop just went crazy. Let me just close it down for a second. I'll still have you guys live, and hopefully that does not interfere. Lord have mercy on me. All that can go wrong does go wrong when you're trying to do something that's out of your comfort zone. Hopefully I'm not driving you guys nuts with that noise, but I'm gonna shut this computer down just to be on the safe side. There we go. And instead what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna work off of my phone for right now. Hopefully you guys can still see me and everything is copacetic. Let me just get myself into the YouTube so that I can see you guys' comment and at least try to follow along with you that way. And hopefully I'll find myself on this phone. Let's see here. Now I have to find myself. So just give me 1 second, you guys. I gotta figure this thing out with this laptop. It is driving me insane. Yeah, you guys can hear me. I'm gonna just mute it so that I don't go crazy, and I'm gonna put you guys right here so I'll be able to actually see what you guys are saying. Is Maida in the house? Hey Liz. How you ladies doing? Yes, you did, girl. Nice. Hi, Michelle. So, I'm back, and hopefully that noise wasn't crazy. I'm not sure if it went through the video itself because I had the headphones plugged in, thankfully. But hopefully you guys didn't go nuts with all that racket. But for the most part, we're going to do it. We're going to do it. So, I'm just going to get some ink, and I'm going to get this pink one here because it matches the paper. I'm going to grab myself a stamp so that I can do some nice bordering around here before I lay that down. And most of you guys know that most of the stuff that I have are things that I get for as cheap as humanly possible. And so this is one of those things. And this is an eBay stamp that I hauled a little while ago. And I love it. I just love it. I love things that are nature. I love everything, you guys. I'm just a lover, not a fighter. I think that's what it is. I just love everything. And so, for the most part, this is going to help me. And don't mind my little block-a-majig over here, because I'm just going to use this little stamp to add just some little, you know, flourishes around the sides so that it has a little bit more life going on behind it. And before I do that, I need to do this. And I'm just going to grab myself some index cards. And I'm going to, like I said, I am going to texture some of this. And I'm going to ink it up just to give the card a little bit of dimension. And I'm going to use this right now to kind of fold this over because I do not want to get the back of this stained with ink, because then I'll have to cover that up as well. And I'm using, this is the Memento Tuxedo Black. Like I said, it's just for a little bit, a little something something happening in the background of where this little post-it is going to be at. So I'll get myself a little wipe, and we're just going to see where this is going to end up, because it's an adventure, you guys. It's a complete adventure. So pretty much pushing down, picking straight up. Try not to jiggle it around too much. Once this ink dries, it actually dries per minute, and it has a very nice crisp. It leaves the stamp nice and crisp looking, which I like. So I'm just gonna go ahead and just add a whole bunch of the stamping everywhere. Hi, Linda. So I'm just gonna go ahead and just go a little crazy here and just stamp everywhere. And most of this is gonna be covered. I just wanted it to have that little hidden element about it. Just making sure that I'm covering up the stamp well. And I'm using a picture frame. For those of you that don't know, I'm using one of those acrylic picture frames that you find at the Dollar Tree, or sometimes you can get them 2 for $1. They're very, very inexpensive, and that's what I'm using as a stamping block. I put paint on everything, which is why this is so messy, because everything for me becomes a tool to use when I do mixed media. So for the most part, that's why this is so kind of crazy looking. So, you know, just bear with me. You know how that goes. But I like it because it's got the little hand that I could just pop, pick it right up, and not go too crazy. So here we're going to work on this side now. My goal is to get to a point where I'm banging these cards out pretty quickly, but I'm a little out of practice, I'm not going to lie. It's been a while since I actually took the time to make a card. And this is kind of like why I really wanted to do this, because I know you guys are like pros, and I know you guys are going to help me. And you're going to give me tips, and we're going to learn together. So this is my idea. Every Wednesday, I want to come on here with some kind of paper project, be it a flip book, be it, you know, cards. Hopefully I want to get to the point where I'm actually able to do like mini albums and things like that, even if they're not that, you know, that extended. I want to get to, you know, all those kinds of crafty paper projects and do that on Wednesday, and then leave Saturdays for, you know, doing mixed media, doing other kinds of, you know, projects, be it, you know, embellishing boxes or just all kinds of different things that are not, you know, like cards and flip books and stuff like that. So I want to leave like paper crafting, like that, the true art of paper crafting, for Wednesdays, and then I want to do everything else on Saturdays, and then, you know, whatever falls in between, you know, regular videos and stuff like that, like I've been kind of doing with the little DIYs, as I'm getting myself a little bit more together. But what do you guys think so far? Right, it looks nice. Thank you. I didn't even think of that, the picture frame idea. Thanks, Ruth. See, you guys have all the answers. You guys have all the answers. I'm not the greatest with giving things titles, so when it comes to me naming stuff, you'll get things like Hot Pocket. You'll get those weird ways of describing stuff. So this is pretty cool. This is why I like crafting here in front of you guys, because you guys help me. You help me grow. We're almost done with this, and I think this is going to look really pretty with all of that vines kind of coming along. And this is why I wanted to do the inside first, because once the inside is done, I'm kind of good to go. Then it's just a matter of creating the outside and, you know, filling all those little elements. And hopefully I'll be able to do 2 of them today, 2 different cards. And see how that goes. So I don't feel too bad. I've done them, but I did, let me see, when I first got into YouTube, which was, I'm actually gonna be here for 2 years now in October. When I first got into YouTube, I got into YouTube doing art journaling and mixed media. That was, you know, that was my first passion. That's my first love. So I got in here doing that. But once I started seeing like all, just everything that YouTube offers, like as far as the community, the people, you know, everybody's different crafting style, just the things that people were doing, the magic that I saw with paper, I was just like, okay, I gotta try this. I didn't own one paper pad, not one. I didn't own one. Okay, all I had was books that I was buying at the thrifty store. Sometimes when you go in and you shop, they used to give me a book for free. So that's what I was using, and I was turning those into art journals. I didn't even own a canvas or anything like that. I was making my own canvases. I still to this day make my own canvases. It's just cheaper that way. But I was kind of making everything from scratch. I didn't even know what scrapbooking was. I didn't even know what the term was or meant. I'm like, what the heck is scrapbooking? Where did it come from? How did it get here? How do you do it? So for the most part, it was really, really fun for me to watch how people were just doing different things. And then I saw a lot. I think it was on eBay, because at first I've always had like this kind of love-hate relationship with eBay. Most of the things that I got from eBay because I always found that they had lots. And I can spend $25 and get a couple of items, you know, at the same time. So I bought a lot, and it included some scrapbook paper. And it wasn't even pads, it was just scrapbook paper. I think I got like, my first one was like 100 sheets of scrapbook paper plus some other like scrapbooking items. And I was like, okay, let's see where this goes. And I started making my first flip books and stuff like that, which you guys will see it here. If it's further down in my channel, my first, my original, you know, paper crafting stuff. And it just took off from there. Like once I started doing it, and I was just like, oh my God, I can marry these two worlds. I can marry these two things together and come out with something that is beautiful. So I've been hooked ever since. Yes. It's been downhill since there. Brandy's leaving. Bye, Brandy. My kids, my youngest is 15 and she's up on the Xbox right now. So they know when mommy's going live. And my oldest are 19 now. So like, you guys are too grown to be out here making a fool and making me look like a fool. So let's get it together. Mommy's going live. Mommy's going live. That's pretty much how we do it in the house. And luckily my husband helps me out with that a lot. So I'm just gonna add a little bit of ink, nothing too major, because this ink is not exactly the same color as this cardstock, but it will kind of bring a little bit of color to these edges so that they're not just so dull. I didn't want to ink them brown. I just wanted to add a little bit of, you know, a little bit of something in here. And I'm kind of rounding them up. And I put this paper between it just so that I'm not putting ink all over the craft mat and then getting the back side of the card all inked up, which I've been known to do. Trying to get a little bit better here. Thank you. It came out pretty cool, so I'm kind of happy with it. I'm kind of happy with it. So far, so good. Let's see how it all looks together. I mean, you could almost leave it like that and just kind of write your little, you know, sentiment in the center of the card, or use your stamp and just kind of stamp it in the center. And you will be good to go. You will be good to go. Nice and simple. With a nice simple decoration in the front, and you are good to go. So I kind of lost track of what I was saying, but you guys get the idea. Hopefully I said enough. I'm trying not to rub the ink in too much because I don't want to pick up that ink from the bottom and start smearing my whole thing with black. So if you can see, it kind of gets a little dark, even though they're different inks and they should not be reacting to each other. I think that they kind of are. So I'm going to leave this like this and kind of put this off to the side. And you could even make it a nice little easel card if you hook up the back. But we'll be evolving. We'll be evolving. Now I'm going to try this. So everybody cross your fingers. And I think the best way to do this is if I mark off the back. So let me get a ruler, and let me, yes, everything is flying. And let me get myself a little ruler here so that I can hopefully mark off the back so that I can keep myself within some kind of a frame when I do the cutting, and I don't start making this card all oblong, or I just get all the proportions wrong. So let me just get myself a little pencil here. And let's just see what happens. So I'm gonna do, I gotta see where these things are, because I do not want to cut off too much of that. That should be fine. And as long as I don't go too far past those lines, then I should be okay. I should be in the safe zone, if you will. And I won't be cutting into my design, hopefully. But we shall live and learn and figure this out as we go. I just want the slightest little hint. I'm not trying to make a, you know, a completely detailed kind of border. So I might not even use that scissor. I have, let's see. I have another one there that I might be able to get away with using. I'm just trying to see if I can get these, you know, as leveled out as possible, which is a little hard for me. Measurements and math is not my strong suit. Let's see here. Trying to eyeball stuff is hard, you guys. So hopefully I did okay. See, this is off angle like crazy. This one's not too bad. But this one is off angle like crazy. Hopefully that's not too bad. Let's see. My boys are 1 and 4 and 10. Still how these two. Let's get older. We'll have. Oh yes, it gets easier, Liz. It does get easier as you go forward. As you go forward down the line, it does get easier. My little one was like a. I used to call her Electric, okay? Like, that was her nickname. Come here, Electric. Because she was just like, boom, 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 all over the place. It used to drive me crazy. But obviously, I said that to her in Spanish, which sounds a lot funnier than it does in English. Because she just couldn't sit still. So, I'm using this pattern here. And again, I'm not too worried about getting too much of this detail in. Although it does seem really small, I think I might be able to get it all in there. But if I don't, I'm okay with it because I am going to be adding some shading to the sides of this card. And it's just about building that texture. I'm adding some texture to the, you know, to the frame of it. And this was gifted to me by Enchanted Scrapper here on YouTube. So all I'm doing, hopefully you guys can see, I'm just leveling this to where the lines are so that hopefully I'm like right there to where the lines are, and it'll give me a nice crisp cut, and I won't be cutting. I don't even want to look at the other side, even though I know I probably should. I should be fine. I didn't even want to look at the other side. I was just like, oh my god, this is so much of a gamble. And these scissors are a little tricky. Let's see right here. These scissors are a little tricky to use, which is why I don't use them that much. But I have to put them to use and see what happens. But yeah, I feel you, Liz. I know what that's like. Lucky for me, my twins were actually kind of calm. They were the type that if you sat them somewhere, they stayed there. They were fine. For the most part, unless you gave them candy or sugar, then that was a different story. For the most part, we tried not to give them any candy or sugar, unless we knew that, you know, unless we wanted them to be like active and running around. We try to keep sugar away from them as much as possible. So you see, this is kind of giving me, hopefully you guys can see it. It's giving me like that little Ripley kind of border. And it'll give you the other side if you flip the scissors over and do it the other way. So hopefully I don't mess myself up and start doing that, because I've done that. I've done one side one way and then done the other side another way. But we shall see. We shall see. And see, I was about to do it wrong already. So let's see here. And again, just trying to keep it within the margins of those lines that I created for myself. Folding that back. These scissors are, these types of scissors, not these scissors, but these types of scissors in general are very tricky. See, if my youngest would have been little, like the age of Liz's boys, oh my god, I don't think I would have been able to have any of this. This would have all been all over her face, all over the walls. It probably would have been everywhere. I literally couldn't keep any makeup in the house because of her. Because, like, I just quit, because I would buy it, and the next thing I know, here she comes waltzing down the house with my high heels on and a face full of makeup. And she was one of those that would put the lipstick as the eyeshadow. So yeah, the eyeshadow used to go on the lips and the lipstick used to go on the eyes. So it was yeah, very, very hectic. And I just like, you know what, I'm not gonna keep buying makeup so that you could keep destroying it. So for years I wouldn't buy any more makeup. You call your daughter Energizer. So you know exactly what I'm talking about. These kids be electric, I'm telling you. Their battery recharges. So I luckily I didn't mess up too much of the, I got to keep most of the gold foiling. I didn't cut too deep into it, but so far it's looking like it's at a good angle. So this is definitely the way to go if you're trying to use these kinds of scissors. Definitely, you know, draw yourself a little barrier of where not to pass, and just line up your, you know, the points on your scissor with that line that you've created for yourself, and you should be pretty much good to go. I'm just being so careful with this because it's so easy to kind of go left. Alright, so we got it, and it almost looks like a large stamp, but it's not. So for this one I am going to go a little bit on the antiquing color, because I do want this, like I said, to pop out just a smidge. So I'm going to go with a walnut stain. The vintage photo is a little too yellow for me. This one is nice and dark, but it's not so yellowish. So I'm going to go into this and just kind of lightly get into some of these little areas here, just to kind of pop them out. And I think this is my biggest problem, is this is why my stuff always looks vintage, because I use walnut stain on everything. So I gotta learn to like not put this on everything. I just love how it looks. It just separates all the different layers from each other, so it's kind of hard. For real, Myra? Oh my god. That's so funny. That's exactly what my daughter looked like. That's exactly what my daughter looked like. And she got big old lips when she was little. She had big old lips. So, and she's so, I mean, she's like my piece of paper. She was just like big old lips, the lightest skin you could possibly see on a kid, and just these huge eyes, and just lipstick and eyeshadow in all the wrong places. They used to be hilarious. But those are the things that we remember. Those little moments. When you get so upset with them because they done messed up all your stuff. But years later you start, you know, you can't help but laugh when you think about it. Because it's just so funny. Alright, so I just kind of lightly dusted it. If you guys can see, I kind of lightly just dusted it. I didn't go too deep in. I just wanted it to break away from the background itself. And this piece right here for right now is done, unless I feel like adding something else to it. But this is more or less going to go like this. I would put double-sided tape on this. I mean, not double-sided tape, sticky tape, the foam tape on this, but I'm not. I'm actually going to adhere it straight to the back. Because if you do want to write something in here, then you have the option to write something in it. So I'm just going to go ahead and stick it straight down. Hi, Debbie. You do, right? It's like so hard not to use walnut stain, Debbie. I'm telling you. It's so hard not to use it. So I'm just going to add a little bit. I'm not going to go too crazy with the glue on this. But I am going to add, if it'll come out. There we go. I'm only going to add a little bit. Just in the little corners here, just in case. And just a little bit, just a little here and there. And time to kind of frame this out. And hopefully do a good job at it. So this for me, it's kind of done. I'm okay with it so far. What do you guys think? And now to do the front, which is usually the fun part. So this pink might not have been the best pink for this, but it's what I got. I work with what I have. And this paper was gifted to me by Blessed 1880 a while back. And this is, like I said, this is why I wanted to make this channel, because I just have things that people have just given to me and things that I've even bought, you know, via lots or whatever the case may be, that I haven't been using as much, or, you know, as much as I would like. And I need to get into these things because I cannot just store them forever like antiques. So let's see here. So I really like this. I'm just hoping that this is big enough for this. And it kind of is. So let's see here. So this is how I'm going to cut this, because you guys know the mere measurements just are not the greatest. And although I gave you guys the measurements for the card itself, measuring and cutting it and it coming out the size that you measured it are two different worlds to me. Two completely different worlds. Thank you, Linda. So let's see. So I'm going to draw the line. And hopefully, I'm going to cut it right. Hopefully. Hopefully. Well, let's see. I used to think that my paper trimmer was the problem, and I used to say like this dumb paper trimmer could never cut nothing the way I need it to be cut, and blah blah blah, until I replaced the paper trimmer and I was still cutting crooked. Then I was like, oops, I guess it was me the whole time. So let's see, and hopefully I do this properly. So I got that part. I'm the kind of crafter that sometimes I craft with my eyes closed because I just don't want to see what I'm doing. I don't want to see the mistakes. It's like I feel like it's going to go wrong. So I'm just like, oh my God. And then I just do it and hope all goes well. Sometimes I do that. So let's see. Oopsie daisy. So, not so bad. Not so. This is the outside. That's the inside. The paper, like I said, I probably could have chosen a better color for the paper, but it'll work for now. It'll do for now. It's my first card back, so they'll get better as they move along. And I feel like edging it out just like I did the other one, only so that it'll match. What do you guys think? Should I edge it out? Should I do the same thing on this one that I did on that one? Or should I just darken the edges? Just add some walnut stain to the edges and leave it flat so that I can cover up most of this paper. What do you guys think? Let's see, let's see, let's see. I have some doilies here. I'm wondering if I cut this part out of the card itself, add some doilies, it'll actually give me an area there. Or maybe I could just leave it like that. I don't know. tricks to keep the blades sharp. The only trick that I have heard of is to grab aluminum foil and fold it a couple times, like maybe 3 or 4 times, and run the blade through it a few times. Usually that'll work. It also seems to work on the hole punchers too. Punching through the aluminum foil tends to sharpen up the edges of your hole punches, and I think it also works for the blades. What about the doily in there? Should I cut this part out and leave that, take that part completely off of it, and use the doily instead of this on this background here? What do you guys think? I know I definitely got a yes for the edging, so I'm going to go ahead and start making my lines. But let me know what you guys think as far as me taking all of this off and just creating that open space and maybe adding the doily, or I could just keep that there. I have some embellishments that I could add to that section there. And hi, Janice. I'm over here answering your question without saying hello to you. And you like the doily too. So if I'm gonna do that, then I might as well cut this now. So doily behind it, we have option number 1, doily behind the card, leave this there. Option 2, remove this excess pink and let the doily show, and then do my embellishment on top of the doily. And you're right, Deb, the flower itself is an off-white, so the doily is too bright. Let me see what other doilies I have. And this is how I am storing my little different things in my Rolodex. The one that I just made. I have everything in little envelopes, but let me see if I find an off-white one, and then we'll decide. Because I don't think I have an off-white one. I have these cute little heart ones, but they're not off-white. That's too pink. This might not work. Yeah, this might not work with this. So, okay. Yeah, because the doilies that I do have, I have a little one. Maybe that little one, we'll see. I'll just go darkening my edges for now. We'll figure out the rest as we go along. Because you are right, Deb. You are right. So let's see. So let me just edge up, mark up my little edges here. Again, trying to create a little frame around the card that I can go against, so that when I go cutting, hopefully everything stays somewhat, you know, in a nice, even kind of frame all around the card. Even with glasses, I still can't see you guys. Try the doily in front of... Okay, I could do that. We'll try that. We'll definitely try that. Hello, Lana. Thank you for joining. So I'm going to go ahead and cut these edges up first, and then we'll go ahead and figure out what other, what else we're going to do to this card. So let's see. I guess it does do it the same way, no matter which way you flip this scissor over. But nothing to it like to do it, you guys. Nothing to it like to do it. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that. Now this one here in the front, I might go ahead and pop up. So I'm not sure. Depending on what it looks like, I might go ahead and just do light little stamping. If this little edges are gonna be exposed, then I'm gonna stamp very lightly the edges all around, just so that it pops through just the slightest bit, so that everything kind of matches. I know, isn't it pretty? It really is, Maida. It's very, very pretty. I'm loving this paper. Anything with flowers on it, I love. Florals remind me of my mom. She loves florals. She has the green thumb. And every time I go visit her, the front of her house is just full of flowers. And I can't grow a flower to save my life. So anybody that can grow flowers to me is like, oh, you can do that? I can't do it. I'm good with the greens though. Anything leafy, anything green, as long as it doesn't have a bud on it, we're good to go. If it grows a flower, then take it, because it will not survive here. Let's see. Where is this? You gotta match up these edges on these scissors so your pattern continues and you don't end up kind of, you know, messing up the pattern. Which is why I'm going so ridiculously slow. On the next card, I think I'm going to go for a paper that is not so busy in the front. And we're going to add most of these flower type of embellishments ourselves. Just to see two different ways of going about doing it. Let's see here. Just trying to keep within that line. And for some reason, it's kind of trying to pull me off center here. So hopefully I didn't go too far off. And let's see. And I like, this is a lot of me watching my communication through my phone and having it live. It works a lot easier for me. So I like this. I like this. So I'm gonna go ahead and ink it up like if I was gonna do the whole thing, and then we'll figure it out afterwards. If I gotta do any cutting, or if I end up removing certain pieces of it, then we'll figure that out as we go. But I'm just gonna go ahead and just lightly do a little dusting of this ink everywhere, just to give myself the heads up. Deb, you and me both, girl. My phone is not, it's as brown as this. Because that's how fast they turn brown in 2 seconds in my house. I cannot have flowers for the life of me. It got to the point that I just told people, don't buy me flowers, please. I'd rather you buy me a plant. Plants grow. Flowers die. I just can't. It made me so depressed every time that my flowers, I love them. So I love looking at them. I love smelling them. I just love them. And to not be able to keep one alive for more than 3 days sucks. Big. Oh my God. It sucks so much. All right. So I think, no, one more side. So you know, I'm happy with the paper. I'm with you, Deb. I'm happy with the floral paper, and just enjoying the pretty flowers in 2D instead of 3D. It's just too painful of a process for me to have them and to lose them. Me no likey. I'm just adding a little bit more of a darker tone here in the corners. Just kind of softening that up just a smidge. So it got a little dark on me there. Alrighty. So we got this going. And let's see here. Let's cover this. And let's get our stamp back out and just see where we are here. Yeah, because we are gonna have a little bit of space, so it'll just be good to get a little bit of those cute little vines everywhere. Thank you. I hope that was to me. Well, if it was or if it wasn't, thank you anyway. So let's see. Better safe than sorry, you guys. So this is how we're going to do this. This is how we're going to do this, Brutus. So again, um, and I don't gotta ink too much of it up because most of it is gonna be covered up. I just wanna get those indications like something else is going on under there. What else could be happening under there? Those happy little vines just kind of going around everywhere. Yes, Janice. I am not, this is not necessarily my forte, if you guys know what I mean. They do look beautiful. I love watching everybody else's cards. And we can make nice ones when we try. But for the most part, we just don't try often enough. I just have to put my charger in my phone because it's letting me know my battery is low. So let's see here. And I like taking my time. Usually when I'm not live, like if I'm, obviously if I'm crafting on my own time, like time doesn't matter to me. Time, if I feel like it goes fast, which I'm pretty sure everybody else in this house would disagree with me on. But live, it feels like it goes so much slower. I guess, hence the live aspect of it. But it just feels like so much more calmer. Let's put this to the side. And we're almost done because I'm not going too high with it like I did with the other side. I just want indications here and there, going all the way around, that something else is happening in this paper. Who knows? Is it design paper? Is it graphic paper? We don't know. We just know something is happening on it, but we don't know what. I'm wondering, how did she do this? Did this come like this? Hi, Erica. Aw, thank you. You're the kindest girl. That's so sweet. And I wish everything that I touch turned to gold because I'd be rich and I'm giving you guys so much stuff. Forget angel mail. It would be like a bonanza over here. I'll be just one or two of you guys every week into my house so we can craft together no matter where you were. Alright, so this part is finito. Almost finito. I found a little snucky area over here. That's just a little too plain for my taste. There we go. So, our front matches our back, right, for the most part. I am going to, because I don't really like white edges, and this is kind of like a white edge because it's the natural edge of the paper. So I'm just going to darken these edges up. I'm not squeezing it to go around it. I'm just rubbing it right alongside the edge of that paper so that just the edges kind of catch it. Not looking to necessarily ink the paper itself or create any kind of shading on the paper itself. I just want to shade the edges. So that's what I'm going to do. Just so that they don't look so pink and plain and black. It's the nicest thing. You know, growing up, you always hear, like, you know, in schools, they do that. They'll tell you, like, make a card, you know, your mom will love a handmade card. Make a card, you know, for Mother's Day, for Father's Day. You're always making them cards, but somewhere along the line, we forget that those handmade things are the things they saved forever, and the things that they still pretty much hold or remember or somehow hold a special place. So handmade things, definitely, 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 you know, is the way to go. This is the foam tape from the Dollar Tree. And I might as well put it to some good use here. So we're going to do that. And I know that I still need some embellishment. So I'm thinking I'm going to leave this like this. Let me see. Let me see. Let me see. Because I do have those little baby doilies. And I'm just wondering if I add, because that's gonna, it's too thin. It's too thin. That's gonna fold out all over the place. So let's go ahead and add some of this stuff here. And we're gonna add one there. We're gonna add at least one there, one there, one on this corner here. Well, I'm happy I could do that for you, Erica. You know how many unfinished projects I had when I first started? I have boxes still to this day that I'm just scared to go into because it just reminds me of failure, if you will, because I didn't finish it. And I've just gotten myself into the mood of you have to, you have to. It doesn't matter if it looks crazy. Finish it, you know, keep adding, keep adding. And when it's done, if you don't like it, then you can always change it up somehow, paint over it, do something different to it. Maybe divide it into sections and then use the sections for other different things. I mean, just don't throw it out. You know, when you say the whole alphabet together, it doesn't make a word, but every word in the alphabet helps you make words, if that makes any sense. So you need every little piece of everything that you're doing, because somehow it'll all come together, it all makes sense somewhere down the line. Thank you. My husband's like, you're going to do another 3-hour live? I'm like, babe, I'm making cards. This should be quick. He's like, yeah, right. Yeah, right. He was right. He was right. So let's see. This has to be placed in the most precise of ways. Thinking right there. Hopefully I got it. So hopefully we got it. A little dimensional. Nothing too crazy. And let's see, I have these cute little butterflies. Maybe they can go in there somewhere. This definitely needs a little bit more. So I'm trying to figure out what else. Well, it definitely needs some kind of a sentiment. So I gotta look at my words and see what I have ready to go. What is this? Is this a bracelet? No, it's not a bracelet. Oh, this is interesting. Is this a bracelet? It's not a bracelet, but it's gonna get snipped nonetheless. Yes, like I said, math is not my strong suit, so I'm just trying to kind of figure out where this can go, and maybe this is where this will fall into place, because it'll kind of blend this out just a smidge. Let me see what I have. Let me see what I have. this is why sometimes it's good to plan things out, you guys, because then you'll be doing this. You'll be looking through your stuff. And I wanted it to feel very organic, like how it does when you're crafting, that you're just kind of figuring stuff out as you go. But I didn't want to be lost in the sauce. Let's see. I'm going to have to put a lot of these little envelopes back when I'm done. I'm just trying to find something that I can add there that'll give it, that'll complement the cover. Ja, a gastar dinero no. Yo trato de no gastar lo más posible. Anything I can do to not spend, it's something that I just try to do. It's a shame it's so big because that probably would have looked nice there. But let's see where we go. Let's see where this takes us. Let's see where this takes us. I am gonna get my word out. Oops, can't cover that. That's you guys' writing. See, I have this one. It says English words. I have an English words and I have a Spanish word. What's this one? Happy. That kind of covers it all up. But that won't fit in the envelope. So let's see. Let's see what else I have in here. That's nice. It says bloom. Bloom together. What do you guys think? Hi, Marty. You crazy as heck, Mayra. Stop playing. Tú quieres que me echen con todo y maleta, eh? I think by the 2:59 hour, like my bags and my boxes will be by the door. I don't even know how long I've been on now. I gotta keep track of time. I've been on 1 hour and 7 minutes, and I want to make one more card. So I'm gonna try to finish this one up so we can get to the next one. Let's see. This says captured. And the inside says memories. Ooh, I like that. I think we have a winner. Captured memories. What do you guys think? It says captured in the front, and then the inside says memories in gold. So I think this will work. I think it makes sense. What do you guys think? Mayra, you've been MIA for a while. I think you should go subscribe to Enchanted Scrappers channel. She is super awesome. So I'm gonna use double-sided tape for this, and hopefully this will work and it won't show through too much. You can use glue. I've been known to do that more often than not. But for this one, because of the way it is, I am going to use tape. And I put enough on here that it'll stick nicely. and won't look crazy. I need that really thin tape. I don't have it. So hopefully this is enough. Hopefully this is enough, you guys. So let's see. I even painted my nails for you guys. I was like, you know what? Today I'm going to paint my nails red. I just hope that this tape doesn't murder me with this whole thing. So, captured. The word has been captured. The memories have been captured. My first card on my homemade designs has been captured. So this is the first one. Should I add a little butterfly to this somewhere? Well, is that just too much? I don't think it matches well. I kind of like don't like that. So this is the first one, and it says captured in the front, a little see-through kind of decal. It's not a real, I had to put tape on it. You guys saw me. And then on the inside it says memories, where you can actually write a little note, or you can just add a little note inside of here. And then you just have to kind of put your logo. Chances are, because I'm zany like that, I'll probably end up doing the rest of this that's hidden, so people know what's hidden. I'm going to actually probably put it all the way around the back. And then probably put my trademark in the center of the card. And that's what I will do. So that's card number 1. Yay! I'm so happy. So happy I got one done. So let me put my words back, because then this is just going to distract me. And it's going to throw me off whatever game I'm on. And we're going to do this again, starting from scratch. With a blank slate and a blank mind. Not too blank, though. Stuff to the side. Nail. And grab some paper. And hopefully do something different. So, thank you, Janice. Can always count on you, my. Okay, now the back is giving me a problem. The butterflies don't want to go in. They're like, no, use me. We're part of the haul. We hard. Don't worry, babies. I'll be using you later. So, let's see. Clean up some of this mess. We use that stamp, so let's put that stamp away and find something different. I know which one. One of my favorite stamps that I hauled as lately. It's another stamp from eBay, but I do have to find the paper so that I can stamp this out. This one's gonna be a little bit more stamping, a little bit more embellishment, I think. I hope. And hopefully everything will turn out well. So let's put this away, or at least to the side now. And let's see, I picked this paper, but we didn't use it, so I'm going to put this paper back. And I'm going to grab a different paper. I don't know if I'm going to grab it from this stack or if I'm going to use another one, a different stack. So, because she's actually rather large, the stamp that I want to use, so I'm gonna see. I need something that'll match. That'll kind of match the feel of who she is. Maybe this one. This is a specialty cardstock paper. It's from Ideas, and it's got like a cliche of all different kinds. So it's kind of like, it's got like a mixed media kind of feel to it. It's got a little bit of spunk. No. So it's a little different. And this is exactly what I mean, using things that you normally wouldn't use. And trying to find a way to make it pretty. I think this little spot here might work for me. This one will work for me. This one will work. Papers that you normally wouldn't use, and just trying to create something pretty with it. Hello, Jarissa. How are you, darling? So I'm going to pull out this one. And this paper is not as heavy stock as the other one. The other one it's got some weight to it, but it's lighter paper. But it's not as thin as like the Recollections paper. That Recollections paper is like wafer thin. It's it's beyond wafer thin. It's like napkin thin. It's so thin. So we're gonna use this one, and this is like a little bluish. So let me see if I find some kind of cardstock that will complement this well. And so for this one, I'm thinking I'm gonna go with a black base, because I didn't use a black base in the first one. I'm trying to see, should I go with the black base or no? Oh, and now I find pink. Jesus. You gotta love it. You gotta love it. That's green above my head. I kind of put it there so that when I do lives and stuff like that, or even when I'm creating in general, it just makes my life easier to just kind of go over my head as opposed to going everywhere else or under me. So I have a little shelf that my desk has. It's like one of those that has those bookshelves that you place on top of the desk. I think it's a hutch or something like that. It's called. I'm not good with terminology, you guys. I think you guys know that by now. So I have one of those, and it's pretty big because my desk itself is pretty large, and I just have everything on top of me, which is good and bad because I don't want to pull the wrong thing and end up here sleeping on my desk, and half hour later I'm like drooling all over the place because I got knocked out. Hopefully I can get a piece of paper here that'll help me. And I think I found one that complements this paper somewhat well. I think it's like a baby blue if I'm not colorblind right now, which I could be because it does happen. And I'm going to leave this card to be exactly the size that it is. I'm just going to score it down. So this is an 8.5 by 11, and I'm just going to score it down the middle because I want that wider base, because the stamp that I'm going to use is this beautiful stamp that I got from eBay, which is this one right here. And you guys have probably seen me use it before on other projects, or you've seen projects that I've used it on. But I just think that this stamp is so beautiful, and I love it. And I've used it for other things. You know how eBay stamps are. I mean, they're good and they're pretty, but you know, you get what you pay for. But the designs are beautiful. So I'm gonna use this stamp, and this doesn't have a sentiment inside, so I'm gonna try to find something with a sentiment that I can stamp out. I'm not known too much for having sentiment stamps. Most of my stamps don't have one. So I am going to look through and just see what I can find. But for the most part, let me get this cutting and all of this stuff going. But isn't this pretty? Oh, the 12 by 12? I'll show you. I have it right here. This is the finished result. And everything was coordinated at one point through the process, but I went to go do something to the cards and I didn't number them. So, yeah. When I came back to, I mean, it still looks pretty, but when I came back to put it all together, all the pieces were, I didn't even know where to begin to get it all coordinated. But this is it, and this is how she came out. Hopefully you guys can see it without too much glare. I love it. I don't even want to put an owner's name on this. I don't know what's going to happen with this. I am in love with this pocket letter. I love the colors. I just love everything how it came out. So I'm just like, I don't even know what I'm going to do with myself. I can't keep creating stuff like that because then nobody's gonna get happy mail. That's for sure. So let's see, what was I doing? Yes, I'm gonna score this and I'm gonna cut this and then I'm gonna measure this. I'm gonna score this first. Cut that paper, score this paper, stamp that paper. You guys know the drill. And this thing is nice, but I thought I was getting the Bomb Digger because it folds, and now I find it cumbersome because it folds. But you know how that goes. You can't never be happy. There's always that one thing. Let's go ahead and do this. And let's just see how this all comes together. Let's just see. Hopefully, we'll be good to go. So I'm going to score this at 5.5. The problem is figuring out where 5.5 starts and where it ends. I'm thinking right there. And this thing is supposed to help me, but I don't feel like it's much help. I don't know. I love things and then I don't love them so much. I just think it's me making excuses why is something different. Just don't tell the husband I said so because, yeah, I'm not too happy about the excuses. Bye, Debbie. Thanks for joining. I'm gonna score this at 5.5 because it's an 11 size paper and I want to use exactly half. So it's supposed to be at 5.5. So I'm just gonna put this paper and I'm gonna end up with my 11-inch score because I can't depend on this too much. I have no idea what's happening up here. So I'm just gonna put an 11-inch mark here in the bottom because I know my paper is 11 inches long, and then I'm just gonna score it at 5.5. And hopefully, I'm doing this correctly and it'll give me what I need. Come on. Work with me, not against me. Why isn't this scoring? Some people make it look so easy, you know? I need a better system, you guys. Yes, Deb, good night. Thank you so much for joining me. And I will be back on Saturday live again at 6 p.m. At 6 for you guys, so that hopefully it won't be hard to miss me. So I scored it because I can't. This is not working for me. This little division here, right at that half-inch mark, more or less, was driving me crazy because it kept going in the wrong track. So I got that going, and then I'm gonna score this paper at, I believe, but whatever difference I'm missing, I'll fix it somehow, some way. So let's see here. So to score this, we want to get this bottom edge at the size that we want. Well, you know, depending on the pattern that you're using. So this is pretty much how I do it. I just kind of measure from the bottom up and I get it where I need it. And I said that my paper is 5.5 by 8.5. So I want to get this at the 5.5 mark. And just making sure that this is as level as it's gonna get. And cut. And then I'm gonna, which side should I use? I'm thinking this side. I kind of like this side, even though I cut this side, but either way, and then I'm gonna cut again at 8.5 because that's the length of my card. So 8.5, because this is gonna be one of the long ones. This is Perfectamundo. So we got it. We got it. But I'm probably going to take these edges off, or at least this edge off on the side, because I don't really like it. I do like the bottom. Maybe I can use it for a top as opposed to a bottom, but I don't like this, like if I'm mailing it out right now. So I'm going to take that off, and then I'm going to actually do some stamping of my own on here. And as far as what we're going to do on the inside, I don't know yet. Right now I'm working on the outside, and the inside is to be seen. We're just going to put my card a little bit off. But it's fine because I'll just hook up the sides with something, some kind of an embellishment or the other. So how's the feet so far? Everything looking good, sounding good over there? Let's see here. And I need something for the inside of this. So what am I going to use? The same card. Probably this one on the inside. So let me go ahead and cut this out so that I have something to kind of have on this. How long is this? This is 6.5. So 5.5 by 5.5 I think is going to be the ticket. So let me get this part this way. And 5.5 for the inside. And again, I'm going to take off this little black here that I just don't like. I really don't like how that looks. And the fairy should not have scanner bars, so I don't need that inside of my paper. Awesome, awesome. So put this off to the side for now. This is gonna be in the inside of here somewhere, like right around here somewhere. So let's see if we can kick this card up a notch. I'm gonna bring out the big guns now. And I don't mean real guns, YouTube. Don't ban my video. I mean my tools. We are a non-violent group here. I'm just gonna get a little bit froggy over here and see what happens. So I got my base plate and my cutting plate and my cutting plate, because I have one mark that says do not cut. I don't even use this plate for anything. I'm trying to preserve them because I didn't do that the last time. I went crazy and started cutting with everything on every side and every way, and it was just a hot mess. So what I got going on over here, this is approximately, okay, this is definitely going to shorten up my paper by a lot. So let's see here, just doing some math, you guys, real quick. I'm definitely going to need some feathers because I'm going to be adding some feathers to the front of it. She's a fairy. She can have feathers, right? Fairies and feathers go together. Hopefully. Hi, Janet. I also want to add a hanging bird cage, even though the feathers are bigger than the bird cage. No. And let's see what else. Let's see what else. Maybe, okay, so I got this. Trying to find a border punch that I can use against My word. I got a Martha Stewart border punch that I'm gonna be punching all along the edges of this, just so that it's not just so crazy plain in the back. That background of that inside of the card, I am gonna stamp it with some butterflies, and then I'm gonna put this inside. So this is gonna be for that. And my leftover pieces of paper that I have, but not from this one, from the that I made, because I have these leftovers, I might as well put them to use. I'm gonna go ahead and cut out some stuff, some feathers, and just some different things that I can add in here. So just to give it a little bit of bluish off and also make it girly at the same time. So I'm gonna go ahead and put some of these feathers and run these feathers through there. And chances are is I'm gonna grab some of that black cardstock so that I can mat these feathers and do it that way. Actually, I'm using my plates wrong. And hopefully my idea comes out well. Well, hopefully. So I'm gonna cut this, and hopefully everything will come out like magic. One more time. And so my machine, it's a little loose from overworking it for so long and using it wrong for so many years. So I have a pack of foam sheets that I got from Dollar Tree. Now I'm going to go ahead and add a foam sheet right on top of my dies, right on top of the sheet. And I'm going to run it through the machine again, so that it'll finish cutting through all the way. And I think part of the reason why it doesn't cut well is because I've kind of got it in a bad habit, and I kind of messed this one up. So it doesn't even matter. We'll do it again. Do it again. Where's the paper here? So this paper pattern in, foam over that, cutting plate over that, and this should be the magic right here. I think eBay for like $1 and some change, they're really cheap. But if you want some die cuts, I can get you some die cuts in the meanwhile. I can surely do that for you. So perfect cut. And yes, my plates have been replaced, but at this point in time, from running it with the bad plates for so long, I did kind of my plates, you know, my housing, just in the different pattern variation, and at the same time everything matches. That should be big enough. And it kind of gets stuck to the plate for a little while. When you want to remove that, all you have to do is if it's giving you a hard time, just run it on the little foam bits, will come right off. That's how my plates were. But once Brandy, left-handed crafter, she gave me the 8 plate in the Happy Meal when I was doing my challenge, I was like, you know what? It's time for me to just, I'm not going to run old plates with new plates. So it's time for me to get it together. That's kind of what I did. I hankered down and I said, okay, and I replaced them. But you see how beautifully it cuts when you put the foam? I mean, it really makes a difference. It really makes a difference. And I have these. So now we have these. And I just have to get the... And this has little holes. Who has time for this. There we go. And I got the other little piece there. So we've got that. And anything else I want to add to this, Carmen, speak now or forever hold your pieces. But I did say I want, and I'm going to cut both of these pieces out because I think that this will look cute under the bird cage. And since you're in the pack already, I might as well use you. Let's see. Yes, foam makes a difference, especially when your machine is a little wonky like mine is. Don't throw away your machine. Just get some foam and you will be a-okay in no time. Trust me. This has been a lifesaver for me. Complete lifesaver. At times when I didn't even think that the machine would be able to cut, it did a beautiful job. All because and you can use the same piece over and over again until it starts to fall up no more. That's a amount of time, I would say. So I have some of this gold I want to, and hopefully that'll work. And I only need one of these, so I'm gonna just do this. Usually with one run with the foam, it cuts everything out beautifully. Pop. And granted, but it's cheaper to buy foam than buying a whole machine. And Dollar Tree has these packs. That brings 32, but you can even get the longer ones, which I've used before, and they even have the ones with the sticky tape on it. And what I would do with that one is I would actually just stick it onto the plate itself and just keep it there until I couldn't use it no more. And then with some warm water, it will just come right off, and I didn't have to go too crazy. So I have, and I'm making a mess, but it's okay. It's okay. So I'm going to show you guys now what this one looked like with the gilding on it. It came out very pretty. Just trying to pop all these little tidbits off of it. These little tidbits. Here we go. And with the little golds on it, so I'm going to use that. And when I ink this, I'm going to ink this from the back, not the front, because I only want to get the inking on the inside of the edges. I don't want to get the inking on the pink itself, so I'm going to ink it from the back so that it just kind of goes into those little crevices and those little nooks, and you can kind of see a little bit of it from the front without it overpowering the actual image itself. So I think that's it for me with the die cuts for right now, but All Reliable is always standing by in case I need her. And I think we can start to get this together. So let's see. What am I going to use? I am going to use my Corky. It's Corky, darling. And this is my stamping tool, Corky 2.0. And this is what I am going to use to build this. So just gonna put all of this stuff together because I do not want to lose my little dies. Okay. Hopefully it all comes together. Like I said, you know, my mind works in one way, my hands work in another, and the result is something completely different that surprises even me. When I sound surprised on these videos, I am surprised because half the time I have no idea what I'm doing. I just follow whatever, you know, wherever the tracks lead, I just kind of follow it. And I'm just like, you know what, it is what it is. We're live, we can't take it back, and that's part of the reason. it is what it is. So, in the spirit of being messy, I'm going to do this here. Usually I have a little box, but I think I threw my box out. So I'm going to go ahead and line this paper up. I'm going to do it from the back because I think it'll be easier for me to see. I'm going to go ahead and line this up. And chances are that these will not line up completely all the way around. Lining them up completely. For some reason it doesn't work for me that way. The size that I'm going to do. So we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. And this is the last little molding right here. So you see what I mean? Once I go into this angle, but I'm going to do the top and the bottom and see what I do with the sides, because I don't know if I want to mess that up. I might just want to keep that and then just add some kind of an embellishment along the sides, and add accent to it that way. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. I make a project out of everything, which is part of my problem. I overdo things, and I'm not even thinking about it. Maybe that's why I overdo it, because I'm not thinking about it. But anywho, bits and pieces that are here that I don't need because they don't attach to nothing, I'm just gonna get rid of them. Woohoo! We got it. We got it. And I'll probably add some bling or something to this. I'm definitely going to shade this in a little bit more with the blue. We shall see. I'm going to put this away for now, because I'm mess up. And I know me. I mess up more projects than what I salvage. So I have some blue here. This is ice spruce. This is considered blue. That's blue. Let's see. Has anybody seen the new Tim Holtz stamping tool that he's got? I'm here. I just don't know how long it's gonna last. Unfortunately, my phone is allergic to my creativity. You plugged in, but in the in case that it dies on me again, without you guys. Hopefully, I've got time to do it. Don't play with my emotions. My phone's at 0, you guys. I'm not long enough, so I'm literally like in front of Spider-Man's nest trying to do this. But I'm not sure if it's going to last or not. So we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. Is it lagging for you guys? Because I know when my phone starts to do this, it starts to lag. So hopefully it's not lagging too badly. It did this to me before. So even though I don't want to, I guess I'm going to have to rush through this one just so that hopefully we can make it as much as I can make it. So let's see here. I got this plugged. This my chat phone, the one that I was using to watch you guys' chat, that one was plugged in, but now it's not. So let me switch this real quick, and hopefully this will work for me. because I'm really stalling right now. Killing time over here. But I want to be able to see what you guys are saying. And I can't see it if I don't have that phone up. So, okay, so we got this, we got that, we got that, we got that. So I got my die cuts out. This is going to be the front of my card where we're going to be doing our stamping. And you guys hear the ice cream truck? Don't believe it. Ain't no real ice cream up in that truck. I'm so disappointed. I love Mr. Softy. That's hard as heck. There's no Mr. Softy about that, let me tell you. None. None at all. So hopefully I'll be able to tell if it freezes because the front of me will freeze. As long as I see my hands moving there. And this phone will last. So I'm going to use this as my top of my card. I'm going to use this as the bottom of my card. Where's my new little tape dispenser that I made today? Here it is. That was quick and easy. So I am just going to try to align this to my grid. I'm just sticking these little pieces of tape on there, but I'm trying not to be too hard on it. See, God is good. I told you we like this. We're like this. Because only faith is keeping this going right now. Let me tell you. Where's my stamps? There they go. Alright, so she's a pretty large girl. As you guys can see. And I kind of like her somewhere like right there. What do you guys think? What do you guys think so far? I'll add these flourishes later. And I'll add those little butterflies individually. For right now, my biggest concern is her. She's the biggest one. And I want to make sure that she goes on well. So, those that can buy make, and so I made. Now, I'm just thinking, I guess I'm going to have to do her in black. I wasn't really looking forward to inking her up in black, but I'm going to make do with what I got. And this is what I got. And I wish that I could emboss her right now because it would just look super awesome, but I don't have black embossing powder. I only have gold for right now. It's definitely on my things to get list, which thankfully has gotten a lot shorter with the help of a lot of you guys. But I have to get some black embossing powder so that I can go ahead and start embossing some of these cards, because I know cards and embossing powder are like synonymous with each other. And I've tried to do the gold, but the gold doesn't show that much, so I don't even bother. So here we go. And I just like to kind of run my finger all the way around the entire image, just to make sure that all that ink comes off and goes where I need it to go. And we're almost there, you guys. Almost there. And then once I glue all of this stuff together, then we're pretty much about done. Once I get the stamping in, and that's pretty much 90% of the card. The rest is just the assemblage. And then moving forward, I'll probably be a little bit more prepared, which means I'm going to actually have to do some thinking and planning. Ugh. But I'll figure it out. I like doing this kind of impromptu thing. So I'll do this, you know, every now and then, but I will try to come a little bit more prepared for you guys, so we're not wasting so much time. Not that it's time wasted, because you guys are mega fun to hang out with, but so that we get more out of our time. So even if I'm on for whatever amount of time, we get more work done. and I don't have to be looking for stuff. Do you have a video on the stamping thing you made? Yes, I do. If you look up stamping tool Corky 2.0, or you could go to my channel and just go somewhere down there. It'll be there. I have two videos. The first one that I made, and then when I upgraded and I made this one. The first one that I made it with a hard plastic. It wasn't even plexi. It was just something that I had in the house. And that's when that other stamping tool came out, the real expensive one that nobody wants to buy anymore. When that one came out, I made that. And I made it the same thing using a picture frame, because this is what this is. It's a picture frame. And the inside is a cork board that I got from the thrifty store. But I had a hard plastic, and that hard plastic wasn't really the greatest for stamping the stuff out. So I knew I needed to get a plexiglass, because not all the stamps were actually sticking to it, which was a pain in the butt. You know what? Let me stop working with this little thing here, and let me get serious about this and use some of this. Because I'm there dilly-dallying with this little micro thingamajig, which is good for markers, but this is good for everything else. So why go crazy? And I'm just gonna clean this up a little bit so I'm not getting all that ink everywhere. And so it's just binder clips. I got 3 small binder clips, the mini binder clips. I clipped the whole thing, the cork board, to the backing of the frame. I put the backing of the frame back where it goes, in the back of the frame. I hot glued the whole thing around, and then I glued the plexiglass to the little lips, the little things that flip, to these little things. And voila, stamping tool. And the plexi cost me like $3 on eBay, but if you got a Home Depot or something around you, you can go there. You'll get it for cheaper. See, I'm still missing bits and pieces here because I'm just paying attention to what I'm talking about and not what I'm doing. And her arm. But notice how she hasn't budged. She's still in the same spot. So I just have to make sure that she's good to go. Okay, what the heck? There we go. I wasn't pressing hard enough. Go figure. Light pressure, light pressure. Okay, so I think she's about done. Just making sure that there's no faded little areas here. I'm getting as much of this ink off because I done re-inked it like 1,500 times because I wasn't pressing hard enough, which was what I should have been doing from the get-go. And she's good to go. So I'm happy there. Sorry, I moved the camera. It's tight right now, guys. It's really, really tight. I'm just gonna put that baby wipe in there and leave that there, because I don't want that to stain it all the way up. So now I'm gonna go ahead and use my other little stamping thingamajig that I have here, and I'm gonna start creating some of this scene. I'm thinking that this bird cage is gonna come down from somewhere there, and if I use these, it's gonna be something like that, and have this bird cage coming off of somewhere. I don't know. We'll figure it out. We'll figure it out, you guys. I'm just trying to make it so hopefully you guys can see me, and I just hope that this video uploads properly to YouTube, because the last time that this happened to me, this thing went in 2 seconds. The whole 2 hours worth of videos was gone. It speeded up the whole thing. Uh-oh. Oh, that's this one. What the heck is going on? Oh, I know why. Hello, Carmen. I know what I did. You see? Oh, I did it again. It's always my fault. It's always something that I do. It's not the technology. It's the people. The people that work the technology. I closed my laptop. Remember when I told you guys earlier that my laptop started making a weird noise? Well, I closed it. So it doesn't charge when the phone is when the laptop is closed, because I got it plugged into the laptop. Hello, Carmen. Genius. Genius at work, you guys, I tell you. There you go. Now you're gonna kick in. So I'm just gonna add some of these in some random little places. All these teeny little butterflies that you guys will see come to life before your very eyes. Don't you dare shut off on me. Now I'm talking to my electronics, you guys. Thank you. I try. You guys inspire me. You inspire me to come out of my comfort zone. So here we have all kinds of little butterflies and doodads. And I'm just going to push down and lift it up. And this one and that one didn't work out too well. So the others did. So let me try to fix these two that didn't work out so well. So let's do this. How are we going to do this? We're going to do this way. What? Don't be buzzing. Anywho, let's get some more and do this in different patterns. What else am I missing? That's about it. Then you'd be like, ah, never mind. Never mind. I like these two are gonna go right here. That'll go well. And I just want it to be like a trail of butterflies just fluttering all around her. Even if I end up having to cover up some of them, I just want them everywhere. I just want the whole thing to be kind of full. So that's it for the butterflies. Now we're going to add some flourishes here and there and kind of get that going. Was all of those off? But I really like this stamp set, because anytime that you could use more than one element from a stamp set, you got a good deal. And so now to add some flourishes. Now my thing is, how am I going to do this? I like this, like this. I want her to be sitting on those flourishes that are there. So I'm going to try to... I actually broke this thing here because I got paint in it. So just trying to make do with what I got, you guys. And I'm not going to color this or nothing. I'm going to keep it just as it is with the blue, the black, and just the way that it comes out. It's perfectly fine with me. Did you just see that? What a blooper. Oh, Lord. Now you're just having fun with me. I don't mind though. We keep pushing. Stay this time. Don't make me put some vinyl on you. Oh, eBay dies. I mean, eBay stamps. Not even dies. The dies work. The dang stamps. I can't. Voila! Success! Now let's get some more of this on here. Ugh. Well, if you already got yourself on there, I might as well finish you off. Oh my god, this is hilarious right now. You get what you pay for, you guys. You get what you pay for. Beautiful cover, shitty interior. Let's see. Pick it up at least. Help me out with something. That looks pretty right there. Maybe some flourishes over here so that as the feathers and stuff and the whatever else I end up adding there kind of goes in there, we have this whole situation kind of under control there. As a matter of fact, I'm going to need this stamp real quick. It's this one right here. Thank you. I'm trying. Patricia, I am trying, girl. I am trying. Let me tell you, I am trying. I am trying right now. Between the stamps not clinging, the phone dying, I don't know. Today's the day of trials and tribulations, I tell you that. So how am I going to do this? Okay, I'm going to just stamp that part in the bottom and come back in here and add more. Add this flower kind of coming up like so. What do you guys think so far? Can you guys even see what I'm doing? It's so bad. Let me try to pick this up a little bit more. Maybe that's a little bit better as far as the angle is concerned. I'm dropping stuff over here. Alright, so we got that. I think that's pretty good. I'm going to add a little bit of the flourishes like I mentioned earlier. Right along this top here. Not too heavy because I do have all of this trimming along the top. But I do want to just incorporate some of the bottom with some of the top to kind of make it look like a whole scene. Thank you. And then we're going to do a little, just some light dusting, which is what I like to call it. Some light dusting of some of the blue, just to kind of push everything together. Thank you. Thank you, Maida. I'm trying, you guys. I'm trying hard over here. But I'm liking how it's looking so far. So we have some flourishes. I can add a sentiment kind of going around there somewhere. And then everything should be good. I'm going to go ahead and do some stamping, the same thing on the inside of the card. But before I do that, I am going to go ahead and start kind of figuring this out, how I want to do this. Because I do kind of want to add this birdcage in there. So I'm trying to see. And I know I'm going to cover up, but it almost looks like some of the butterflies are caged in. Which is fine by me. And then I just kind of want some of these feathers in there. So trying to see how I'm gonna do this before I actually start to do it. What do you guys think? Does that work? Or is that too much? on this card. Does the pink kill it or give it life? Let me go inking some of this. I think that'll help. That's the blue. This is the blue. That goes with that. Where is the... There it is. So far, is it working? Is my camera still going? Yep, it's still going. We're on our 2-hour mark, you guys. 2 hours and some change now. Where is my... Let me grab another sponge from in here. And just like I said, I'm just going to dust this from the back. And by dust, I mean add some shading, but I'm going to add it from the back. And hopefully, yep, that'll show through. So I'm kind of rubbing it into the bars themselves. I just didn't want to mess up the pretty paper, so I didn't want to do it from the front. Might up. You need to stop it with your wishful thinking. So I'm just kind of doing the edges, the outside edges, again, just so that it breaks from the actual background, even though I know the pink does that on its own, but just to create this little illusion of actual shadow there. There we go. With these, I'm just going to lightly dust them. Just a light dusting all the way around. Yes, she did. Yes, she did. She sure did say there was going to be days like this. And she said, don't give up. Don't give up. And I said, I sure won't. Because mama ain't raised no quitters. Alright, so I got those. I'm not sure about the blue. Maybe I'll add one. I think the straight one will work well. So I'll add one instead of the two, just to not make it so extra. Okay. Se me metió uno ahí. Lo voy a sacar ahora. Give me a second, ladies. Let me do some pest control. Just letting this thing load up. There we go. Let's see. Okay, ladies, extermination done. We are good to go. We are good to go. Where was I? Yes. Back to dusting. Alrighty. So, one blue, one this, one that. Just bringing in some of these richer dark blue colors here. And I'm bringing it a little bit more into the page just to give this idea that she's actually sitting on something. Not just the figment of my imagination. And I kind of do the symphony on it. I just wave my hand all over the place. That's kind of how I do it. Let's give her some clouds. There we go. Voila. Thank you, thank you. I love it that you love it. Oh, I forgot to do this one. Where is my... There we go. Just gonna do a quick little shady. Nothing too crazy. This is going to go somewhere in here. So I'm thinking I'm gonna glue this in. Where's my blue one? Something like this. I'm going to tether it through. Tether it through there. And kind of do this way. Right? This way. So that this one is kind of at the bottom. And these are kind of there. And then we're going to glue this here. We're going to add some glue here. And I think that'll do it. I really want to use you, but I don't think I'm going to be able to. I think I'm going to have to cut one out. But before I do that, let's do this first. Hey Liz. She's back, ladies and gentlemen. She's back. So this is like the last little bit of this front one here. I am going to try to add something to that, the top of those feathers there, just so that it doesn't look like just some random feathers. They kind of fell out of the sky with a bird cage attached to it. Like the bird cage was too heavy for whatever bird was carrying it. And I'm going to leave that like that. And I gotta find something to glue on the front of this card to create some kind of a sentiment. But before I do that, isn't that nice? So let's see. Before I do that, I do have to kind of, well, I can go gluing this on. I can go gluing on the front of this card. Right? What are we doing here, Carmen? What are we doing here? I know what we're doing here, Carmen. We're gonna add some washi tape. Woohoo for the washi tape. Thank you, girl. You don't know, we've been through hell and back already. It's been a mission. So I'm just gonna add some of this little cute washi tape to the sides of this. I was going to stamp it, but you know what? I'm not. I'm just going to add this cute little washi tape everywhere. And let this washi tape do that job for me. Because it matches. And I love the color. Because it's blue and green. It's blue and green. What? What's vibrating? I'm scared of vibrations now. Because when it vibrates, something's dying. And I don't know what. But something's dying. I don't know which one of the two phones, but so far we're making it by the skin, by our the hair on our, what is it? The hairs on our chinny chin chin. Yeah, that's what it is. That's what we're making it by so far. And I don't know if I'm going to do the bottom, because the bottom I think will be fine. I just pretty much wanted it for the top. And that'll be perfect. So let's clip, 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 snip, snip, snip. And get this card on the roll. Okay, cool beans, doll. Muchas gracias. Now you know, when you're in your right senses, the rule of thumb is add some glue to the washi. Don't just put this washi down. You know dang well that this washi is not gonna stick all the way through the journey of life. 2 days later, it'll be peeling off. You know this. I know this. But for the sake of today's video, let's make believe we did that. I added some glue before I laid my washi down, or I added some double-sided tape. I didn't do double-sided tape because the double-sided tape that I have is too thick compared to how thin this washi is. But you guys get the idea. And now, time for the piece de la resistance. And it's the gluing of this baby right here. I'm just going to do a light little swirl there. A light little swirl. And I'm already fighting with the washi tape, but too late. No take backsies. And I'm gonna have to trim a little bit of this card off the bottom, but I'm a-okay with that. My biggest thing right now is making sure that this thing is on the money as far as everything else. So I am going to open it, and I am going to stick it down as best as I can, and then I'm going to trim it because, like I said, I made the piece too long. Thank you, girl. I'm so glad you guys like it. I was so worried because, you know, card making is not my forte. I've tried it. I even did a live stream once on my regular Saturday feed where I did the cards and stuff. Just trying it, I guess, for a little bit. And I'm trying to get a little deeper in this world, if you will. So we'll see what happens. No guarantees with me, but we'll see what happens. And this is so far what this is looking like, and I do think it's very pretty. And we are going to go ahead and do some more stamping on the inside because I have to. Oop. See, you're already playing games with me. I have to add this piece inside, which is where you're gonna be writing whatever little sentiment is gonna go in there. And then we're going to call this card pretty much about done. I'm going to add a little something to the other right on top of the bird cage where all my little birds, my bird feathers are. And that's about it, you guys. We survived another one. Woohoo! For my very first card, paper crafting. Do you see this? You know what? I'm just going to stick it right there because obviously she's trying to do her own thing and she's not listening to me. So we're just going to let her be, and she's going to fall what she's going to fall, and she's going to land what she's going to land, and we're going to be all right because we're going to survive it because we survivors. And that's just what we do. We outlive and we keep pushing through no matter the obstacles. No matter the haters. And I just love the way it's looking. And I'm just kind of doing the same frame kind of technique that I did on the other one. Just to give this card a little bit of extra life. Just simple little things that you can do with one or two stamps that can change everything. I know for me that's the case. Just kind of off angling it here and there. Trying to change the direction of the flow of where these vines go. Making it all look different all the way around. And here we go. Woohoo! I'm just gonna add a few of these and we are good to go. This is the other flourish that comes with the with this stamp set. This one sticks, unlike the other one. I just want to put this one little flower somewhere, just to kind of break off a little bit of what's going on there. And that's about it for me. And we're gonna leave it there because overworked, you guys. I overprocessed the process. And that's just what I do. And see there, or see there. No, see there. Yep, there. And we are done. I can't believe I made it. A huge mess later. But we did eat. And I'm kind of pushing it up against where that fold is. And we have a card. Woohoo! Now we just need a little cute sentiment, which hopefully I'll find something I can stick up there and it'll be fine. This would have been perfect, but it's way too large. Just trying to find something that matches what I have here. Let's see. The bloom would look good for the other one. I'm low on words over here. This is a huge hello. That doesn't work for me. Best day ever. What about that one? Best day ever. I'm sorry, I haven't been, I've been so busy looking for words. Thank you, thank you. I'm so glad you guys like it. Mayra, you too funny. Aw, you too, Patricia. You're funny. But thank you, thank you. I so appreciate you guys. Just trying to find something. This doesn't even match. And there's nothing to congratulate because she grabbed the butterfly. So that doesn't go there either. I'm still organizing my stuff. So for right now, we have Best Day Ever, which is in yellow, which kind of matches. It does kind of, I mean, at least it pops out. Doesn't blend into the background. We have the word love. Which might go good there. What do you guys think? The word love? Which one of the two, you guys? Love or Best Day Ever? Or I got bloom, but there's no flowers here, so I don't know about bloom. I don't have flowers. What do you guys think? I gotta get some word dyes. That's what I gotta do. I wish eBay had them. They're just so expensive. It drives me crazy. I mean, I know you get a lot of use of it, but I can't afford to be paying $15 for a pack of dyes. Like, that's just a lot. To me, it's a lot. And I know it's worth it because look at me now, struggling to get some words. But I'm thinking I like that love, so I'm thinking I'm gonna go with that love because at least it matches the gold in the bird cage. Even if it doesn't match anything else, it at least matches that. And then as far as a little embellishment for that, I'm going to go ahead and probably add a little gem to it or something. And I think that that'll be it. I like that there. I think that'll do it for me. Yep, that'll do it for me with that. So I can't find anything else. This would be nice, but I can't put that there. It's too heavy. It'll be love and this little pink thingamajig over here. And that'll be it for me today. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this crazy little live stream of mine today. And I will try to get it together moving forward. Happy little accidents today, for sure. I like how that looks. I like how that looks there. Just trying to find out which is the best spot for it. Maybe there. Yeah, off in the top. As usual, I love crafting for you guys. I love crafting with you guys. This has been loads of fun, even in our scary points and our scary moments. Hopefully people are not like, oh my God, Carmen, again? You want the feed. But hopefully they'll forgive me. And they'll come back and watch me again. Making sure everything is leveled. So this is what we made today. And like I said, most likely I will stamp out some images in the back, a little bit of the flourishes or something, just to bring the whole thing together without overdoing it, or at least something that'll accentuate wherever it is that I end up putting my little handmade logo at. But it's pretty nice. 8.5 by 11 folded in half at 5.5 to make this nice size card. You have a nice area to create on. And hopefully you guys like it. And then this is the inside where you have your little area there to write on, if you want to write on it, or just include a note with it. And then we have this one, which is captured moments. That's what I call it, because that's what it says. Captured memories, I should say. And this is the second card that we made. And again, I'll probably end up stamping out some flourishes in the back just to bring it all together. But this is what we made today. And hopefully you guys enjoyed the time with me. I sure enjoyed the time with you guys. And look forward to this on a weekly basis. So hopefully I'll be able to do this every Wednesday. If I'm not going to come on for some reason or the other, I will let you guys know via video. And I'll let you guys know that I won't be on. If you don't see that video that I won't be on, assume that I will be on. Wednesdays at 6 o'clock and Saturdays at 6 o'clock. And hopefully we'll be able to cover a little bit of everything through our little crafting escapades. So with that being said, I will catch you guys on the next one, and thank you so much for hanging in there with me. Bye for now. Let me just zoom it in real quick for you guys before I say goodbye. And that's this one. With all the little flourishes. And the little stamping. And the little bird cage. And this is what this looks like on the inside. And this is captured moments up close and personal. And this is the inside. Bye you guys. I'll catch you on the next one.